Price of Bitcoin inching closer to $100,000. The cryptocurrency briefly rising above $99,000, coming within $200 of that elusive 100,000 milestone. Bitcoin is up more than 40% since Election Day alone, on the hopes that President-elect Trump and a Republican-controlled Congress will take a money-friendly approach toward crypto regulation. For more, I'm joined now by ETF.com editor-in-chief Kristen Myers. Kristen, thanks for being here with us. Try to break this down. Why are crypto investors so optimistic about the incoming administration?
Well, I mean, you just kind of mentioned it right there, that essentially this new administration would be a little bit more friendly to the digital asset. We also had the news that the SEC chair, Gary Gensler, would be stepping down. And Gensler has essentially really kind of come out and lampooned Bitcoin and other digital currencies in the past. And so it is the hope that with the new SEC chair and with President-elect Donald Trump, that we are going to have a lot less regulation on assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, et cetera, going forward. And that's why we're seeing essentially investors really piling into Bitcoin.
All right, so most people by now have heard one of the currencies you just mentioned, but for some people, it can be hard to understand why people are investing so much of their hard-earned money into assets like a Bitcoin. What are the benefits over traditional investments like stocks?
Yeah, that's kind of the million-dollar question, I think, for a lot of folks. I think a lot of people are investing in it, even if they don't entirely understand it or understand why it might be valuable. So listen, there's a lot of arguments around this, but I'll kind of run through a couple of the reasons folks like Bitcoin. So first and foremost, they think of it as a little bit like gold, but gold for the modern age. It's decentralized. It has that digital security because it requires these complex math equations to essentially create them. And it's also an asset that is viewed to become more stable over time. So while folks aren't going to the store and using Bitcoin right now to, buy pizza or to buy a house, there is a thought that one day that could be something that folks are going to do. They also look at it as a hedge against inflation and essentially really a store of value, something that is going to increase in value over time. Now, Bitcoin has been incredibly volatile lately, but again, as I mentioned, it is an asset that is viewed to stabilize over time and essentially, hopefully, just continue to increase in value.
And so just to put a fine point on what you were just talking about, it's called cryptocurrency, but right now, people don't actually spend their Bitcoins on things. We're showing video of Bitcoins, but when you buy it, do you get it? Do you get a bunch of it, or does it just exist somewhere?
No, it is not a tangible thing that you can kind of hold in your hands. It is totally digital. And that's actually part of the appeal and why it is something that, again, can be so decentralized, and it helps actually the portability. You can take 1 billion Bitcoin with you pretty easily in a way that you can't cart $1 billion around with you, right? And so that's part of the reason why folks like Bitcoin and essentially some of these other cryptocurrencies that we see out there on the market. Now, while Bitcoin is rising, we also see in sympathy investors also piling into some of these other really popular cryptocurrencies that exist out there. Ethereum and Solana are the two primary ones that I'm thinking of right now. But essentially this blockchain technology, that's a technology that, not to make it too complicated, relies on these complex math equations to essentially verify them, essentially transmit them to another person. That is part of the reason why it's so valuable.
All right. Well, I wouldn't mind the challenge of trying to carry around $1 billion. I'll tell you that much, no matter where it comes from.
You and me both. If anyone wants to give me some, I'm available.
Kristen Myers, thanks for breaking it down for us. Really appreciate it.